What's up, my beautiful people? Exile451 here with yet another daily dose of Reddit Happy. Going into r/self-improvement today, so let's get to it. Our first post is from user Baptiste Arnaud. Pornography is killing our motivation, so here are 5 steps I followed to improve my productivity. I've always been a procrastinator. When I was a student, I would constantly make up excuses to push my tasks to a later time so I could enjoy more video games and TV shows. Then, when I started working as a software engineer at IBM, and then as a freelancer, I started enjoying being the guy that gets things done quickly. I did this to impress colleagues, but also to keep moving forward and tackle other new challenges. As a result of that, I started learning techniques to improve my productivity. I tried different methods taught by authors, coaches, and entrepreneurs. For a year, I tried meditation, did a lot of physical training, ate healthier, went to bed early, woke up way too early, etc. I finally understood what my productivity magic recipe was. This post expresses what I understood so far, what works for myself, and what does not. The Superman routine. I tried to follow what most of the lifestyle coaches will advise you to do. Have a strict morning routine. So each morning for about 2 months, I didn't snooze, I straight got out from the bed, drank a glass of water, exercised for 10 minutes, meditated 20 minutes, and ate a complete breakfast. Eggs, toast, a fruit juice, and coffee at least. I honestly started to feel proud and strong. But in reality, it only drained more of my available energy at the given day. These types of routines are hard to follow in the long term. You need to be disciplined about it. Unfortunately, without much surprise, I started to drop those habits one by one until I finally stopped completely. I feel like a strict morning routine is good for your mindset, but it doesn't make you more productive in the end. Then I found the Becoming a Man of Action series by Mark Kweppet. It blew my mind. The main idea is that we have a certain amount of dopamine and you decide when and how to release it. Some activities release a peak of dopamine instantly. For example, taking a drug and masturbating are activities that make your brain release a big amount of dopamine in no time. Other activities make us release dopamine quite easily, such as watching Netflix, browsing social media, etc. On the other hand, creating things and undertaking a life project will not release dopamine immediately, but only at certain milestones. Unfortunately, in the social media era, lots of content makers and journalists seek to make our brain addicted to their content with clickbait titles and controversial topics. It makes your brain release too much dopamine and leaves no space for the energy you need to reach your life goals. Thus, you need to reprogram your brain to avoid instantaneous dopamine release while trying to fall in love with the discipline. With this concept in mind, I crafted a guide that improved my discipline and productivity. First, sleep. In our modern society, sleep is considered to be a lazy activity. The less you sleep, the more you'll have time to work. Thus, the more you will be successful. I strongly think that is a misconception. Sleep deprivation is the cause of diseases, inattention, lack of creativity, grumpiness, and much more. You need to obtain the recommended 8 hours of nightly sleep. With better sleep quantity and quality, you'll be able to make better decisions, better control your emotions, and manage problems/obstacles with boosted creativity. I highly recommend for you to read Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. He explains perfectly what science discovered about sleep in the last decade. Then, by understanding the why, you could probably understand the how-to. Here's an excerpt of what good sleep hygiene looks like. Reduce caffeine and alcohol intake, remove screen technology before sleeping, establish a regular bedtime and wake-up time, even on weekends, avoid sleeping on the couch early/mid mornings, and reduce anxiety-provoking thoughts and worries. I talk about a way to help this further in the post. 2. Remove bad habits. Bad habits are activities that make you release too much dopamine and don't help you build the life you want. They act like escape hatches. Here's just some examples. Watching pornography, masturbating, taking psychoactive drugs, and binge drinking. Browsing social media, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. Watching Netflix or going down the YouTube rabbit hole. And playing video games. If you're addicted to pornography and/or you take drugs regularly and you want to build the life you have always dreamt about, then you need to do a brain rehab. Mark Queppet helps you understand why and how to remove these types of habits in his Sexual Self-Mastery series. Social media browsing also doesn't help you. You need to cut these habits. Completely removing every social media platform that makes you overconsume is the best way to reprogram your brain to stop being addicted to these products. Go easy on yourself. Try to cut your habits gradually. Regarding movies, TV shows, and video games, try to reduce your consumption as much as you can while keeping enough to inspire your creativity. You could allow yourself 1 movie and 2 hours of video games per week, for example. Third, prepare. You can't be productive if you don't know what you have to do. You can have the greatest ambitions now, but if you don't know what you have to do to progress toward your goals, you won't do anything. You need a system you can refer to when you're ready to produce. This system must be maintained frequently and be up to date at any time. A simple to-do list could suffice, but my personal experience revealed that it is lacking in many aspects. I had a daily to-do list before, and I discovered that it stressed me out because of due dates. Because my priorities changed all the time in a single day due to particular events, I always had to postpone tasks. That's why it's important to find a tool that matches the modern man lifestyle. David Alley explains this perfectly in his book, Getting Things Done. He's the inventor of a great framework that allows you to capture your thoughts. You need to capture all of the material that's floating around in your head, your abandoned to-dos, incomplete projects, any nagging issues that might keep you awake at night. Clarify and reorganize. Add related information to your items, knowing that you'll be able to refer to these details when you need them. Reflect and engage. Choose the right thing to do at the right time. Example, you might be at work and only have 30 minutes. You might be at home, but your energy level is low. You might be at school with access to special resources. I found a tool called Nirvana HQ, which is a complete to-do list system powered by the Getting Things Done framework. My preparation workflow with this tool is 1. When I have something in my mind or when I have to remember something important, I open up Nirvana and add an incomplete item in the inbox section. For example, sell old laptop, drink friends, build shelf. I have an idea, I write it down in my inbox and maybe destroy it later, but I try to collect everything. 2. Every evening I open my inbox and try to organize and clarify every item. If I can complete it in less than 2 minutes, I'll do it now. Otherwise, I translate it into an actionable task with specific tags. Example, sell my old laptop equals publish my laptop on Craigslist. Tags at home, computer, low energy, 10 minutes. Drink friends equals invite my friends for a drink. Tags anywhere, low energy, 5 minutes, scheduled to a specific day. Then I move these tasks to a next list. I could also move them to a scheduled, waiting, or a someday list. 3. Review and organize every item once a week. Now that I have a next list with actionable tasks, I know what to do when I want to be productive. 4th, cultivate boredom. You sleep enough, you removed bad habits, and you know what to do to be productive and work toward your life's goals. Now you have a choice to work on your tasks or do nothing. And it is, in fact, the cool side of these guidelines. You are not obligated to work, and if you don't work on your tasks, you will feel bored and you will want to go watch Netflix again. But you can't. You removed this habit. You need to stay strong, and I assure you, you will be so bored that you won't have the choice. You will have to work at a given time. Also, boredom allows you to reflect on yourself and your projects, take a break, feel present and meditate in a way, and save energy for when you need to work. You need to cultivate and embrace boredom. 5th, act. Now comes the most difficult part of being productive, to produce. Unfortunately, I don't have a magic tool for this part of the guide. What is important to understand is that the biggest obstacle in this part is the trigger. The trigger is where it all starts. It is the most critical part of the productive mind. The trigger can decide either to be in your better self's favor or to go completely the other way. So the idea is to influence this trigger on going the way you'd like. To conclude, there is no perfect recipe to make everyone more productive. A morning routine will help you to have the right mindset but won't make you more productive. What worked for me so far was to get enough sleep, remove bad habits, prepare and make sure everything I think about is written down, and to finally enjoy doing nothing and embrace that boredom. The result is me working harder, making better decisions, not forgetting important stuff, and being proud of myself. I hope these insights can help you be more productive and work toward your life goals. Maybe it can make you realize all the great projects you can achieve and all the time you can unlock for more important tasks. Let me know in the comments what your thought is on this guide. Edit. Thank you all for your feedback. I'm glad we can exchange experience on this topic. Some of you also asked me to go deeper on certain points of this guide, so here we go. First of all, I think it's very important to know why we need to be productive. You probably need to make sure you can answer these 3 questions. Where do you want to be in 3 years? Where do you want to be in 8 years? And what's your life's goal? If you struggle to answer these questions, it's alright. It can take some time to figure it out. Here's some examples to help you. John is working as a recruiter in a big consulting company. In 3 years, he'd like to start coaching activities that he has always dreamed about. In 8 years, he'd like to be settled with a family and to spend some time with them. His life's goal is to have enough money to be able to travel all around the world with his family and discover many cultures. Claire is a data scientist in a startup. In 3 years, she'd like to be a confirmed data scientist and to have a higher position. In 8 years, she hopes to have had the chance to write several renowned papers, to have a top job position, and a high salary. Her life's goal is to make discoveries in medical research to help people. She would also like to inspire others with her work. Wherever you do something, it's important to think if it helps you achieve your life's goals on every scale possible. Nowadays, it is known that our society mostly consumes. And don't get me wrong, it's important to consume, but it needs to fit your goals. For example, if you dream to become a writer, of course, you need to consume lots of books. If you dream to become an esport famous player, do you really? Of course, you need to play and practice video games most of your time. But it all comes down to if your current activity is helping you to achieve one of your goals. Some of you are wondering how you can be happy by working most of the time and have little playtime. This entire idea is to suggest to reprogram our brain in order to enjoy working, enjoy becoming a man of action. You can make work time your playtime. You can fall in love with being active and productive. To sum up, you can do so by replacing your escape loops with productivity loops. Escape loops are triggered by discomfort, boredom, pain, sadness, and produce instant pleasure. Pleasure first, pain later. It doesn't solve the core problem. Why are you being sad? Why does it hurt so much? Productivity loops are triggered by motivation and ambition. These are activities that produce pain first, but reward you at the end. These loops are fulfilling. There are short escape loops that provide a big spike of pleasure in no time. Hard drugs and masturbation/pornography, for example. You won't be able to replace these kinds of loops with a unique productivity loop. You need to make one too many replacements. For example, replace compulsive masturbation with healthy habits. Exercise, meditate, eat healthy. Your choice. There are medium escape loops that provide pleasure on several days, but don't make you move forward. Playing a long video game solo campaign, binge watching multiple series seasons, you can replace these loops with a good book on the topic you're interested in and which contributes to improving your skills in a particular domain. You can also work on a personal project for several days. Also, some of you are wondering what dopamine has to do with all of this and how boredom can help you be more productive. For example, imagine that you fast for 2 days and you're presented a piece of perfectly seasoned broccoli. This will be the most delightful broccoli you have ever eaten. Now, what if you eat junk food every day? You won't even bother to eat broccoli that helps you being healthier. Your brain doesn't want it. This fast period corresponds to the boredom culture I'm suggesting. Think about this. If you don't have escape loops anymore, you'll have so much energy to do meaningful activities that don't reward you right away. Okay, I know, quite the long video, so I will just keep my comments here brief, but I just want to testify personally to this. I mean, I'm not going to say that this works for everyone, but I know in my own life that I've seen the benefits of cutting out bad habits and such. I mean, I've talked about playing World of Warcraft in the past, and I've picked it up again recently, but now I'm just super casual with it, and it's honestly really very much of a date night thing for my wife and me. Back in the day, though, I was, oh gosh, that's basically all I did. That was like 2/3 of college for me, was just playing World of Warcraft. And once I finally walked away, it was like, oh my gosh, I have all this free time. And so I got into incredibly good shape. I was like Hollister model chiseled. Now, granted, again, life gets in the way and it makes it hard to keep up with that. And so I'm trying to get back into that shape, but different story. But when you do reprioritize things, when you do cut out those bad habits, and when you find ways to really realign your mindset so that you're going for the pain first, pleasure later kind of approach, it is so much more fulfilling. I'm not going to advocate for any of the books that this guy mentions or anything else, because this is a process that differs for everyone. However, I think OP is right here on a lot of things. So, OP, thank you for sharing this, for giving some of your insights as to what's worked for you, and wherever you're at, I really do wish you the best. That was r/self-improvement, and if you want more self-improvement stories of what people are doing to change their lives for the better, then go ahead and check out the playlist link in the description below. Now you guys go out there, have a great day. I will see you all tomorrow. Until then, I'm Exile451. Stay beautiful, people.